need this sanded.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
The whole shebang?
Not the whole boat, but if you could get the keel done.
You have to sand the whole boat anyway.
You have to.
Yeah.
And it's a dirty job.
Yeah. Do you think?
2023 and season 4. I think this will even go to 2024. I don't know. All I can tell you is that we've been sailing the boat and enjoying ourselves. Minimal amount of boat work this year, but that's okay. I want to enjoy my family, I want to enjoy the boat, and I also want to enjoy some boat drinks. Nothing better than being sun-kissed on the water. I hope that you guys have really enjoyed these videos, and if there's something you want to see, I implore you to reach out and ask me, and I'm more than happy to record it for you. Boat work is my favorite, so if you have some need for a helping hand, by all means, just reach out. I'm here. But until then, I hope you guys hit that like and subscribe button, and cheers to you in the water. What's up, guys? I'm down here with Jason today. Say hi, Jason. I'm going to apologize now for the wind, but we are going to be finishing the keel over the next week or so, and today it's warm enough, and we're going to be doing the Gflex impregnation in the gap and the 5200 today, and then I'll be back down. We're gonna have to sand the lead down. We'll basically fair this all out, one layer of glass, and she'll be good to go. Paint done. I do have to rebuild the back, but that'll be taking place when I do the fairing and the glass. But yeah, so right now what we're gonna do is, again, I'm gonna mix up some Gflex resin. I'm not sure if you can see this gap right in here. I'm gonna inject it in with a needle, and then we're gonna go ahead and let that tack up, and then put our bead of 5200 in, and we're good to go for next week. All right, again, I apologize for the wind, guys. So we're using Gflex to fill that void. Stuff goes pretty quick. I would say if you do buy it, whatever, this is the 118 milliliters, you're gonna wanna get this size, because you're gonna go through, I mean, even though you're doing a small project, we'll probably burn through almost all this today. When you use these, you do have to cut the tip off, and one thing to remember is underneath here, there is a saver, a little washer, so you gotta pull that out. This mixes in even ratios. We're gonna probably be mixing up a bunch of batches of this right now. So I'm just gonna mix the first one to here. Right now I use a plastic cup. One thing to remember is when you mix this, you get about 45 minutes of workable time, and until it's really just useless after that. So what I like to do is mix it, let it sit for a little bit, then I'll inject it. That way it's not just running like water, because this stuff does run like water. Damn wind. All right, here we go. Good. Thank you, sir. Dude, this is some wind today, guys. It's got to be blowing at like 40. It's nutty. Good measure. Cap. Cap. All right, now the mix. Again, like any other resin, scrape the sides. You want to scrape the sides, and you're just going to go ahead and start going to town on it. Alright, so now we have it mixed, and I'm just going to pull the Gflex up into my pen here, and we're going to go inject. Grab that, grab some more. Grab the excess, wear gloves. what's going good here is I already have some of that. I can see it popping. There we go. Through the middle. And we're not putting much, just getting enough in. I'm gonna have to go mix up another batch here in a minute, but this is doing exactly what I wanted. Scoop that. And what we're trying to do here is just make it so it's watertight. We don't want that gap, and it's only in the front there. So very good. Exactly what we needed. I'm gonna have to go mix more. So sloppy. Nice. Should have got a smaller cup. Should cut the sides of this cup. Alright, let me go mix some more. Alright, so I've got the Gflex injected into that little gap that was bothering me. We're going to let that tack up for a little bit. And then we're going to run the bead of 5200. Wound up using almost the entire bottles on that just to get it up in there, you know, stuff dripping. But that whole little gap now that existed is filled with the Gflex red epoxy. Blah, sorry guys, I'm super hungover. Now what I gotta do is clean up this diesel that's leaking out of a keel. I don't know where that's coming from. I'm assuming now that the bed, or the keel bed, has dried over the winter, that the diesel is following the threads down and then making its way out, which is going to be a problem for adhesion. So I'm going to clean that with some acetone that Sadie had on the boat, and then we're going to go ahead and get that 5200 put in. So all we're doing right now is just making sure that this surface is clean for the 5200 to adhere. If it's dusty or grimy or oily, you're not going to have good adhesion. So just got to clean it up real quick, let it dry. Like I said, I'm still letting the Gflex tack. One other thing, if you're filling a void with Gflex, it will run like water. So you're going to want to go back over it every now and again with like your stick or squeegee. Make sure you're keeping it in there. Now the good thing is that hers is, you know, what, 4 inches wide, so most of it will stay in. And again, we're just trying to keep that section waterproof. There's really nothing structural to me putting that in there. It's just to keep water intrusion out. Clean the other side, give it 10 minutes, and we'll do the 5200. Also, we're going to be rebuilding this swale here. This should really be like this. There's a chunk missing. I'll build it up with Total Fair. I'll sand it down, and then I'll go ahead and wrap that with fiberglass, and it'll be perfect. It's kind of neat right now to see Sea-Tow getting ready to go back in the water. You know, we love Sea-Tow, and they're getting all their boats painted and ready to launch. So that means the season is upon us, people. That's all we have to do. Let this dry up. Oh, you can see what I was talking about. See how it's starting to drip? So I'm gonna have to just keep pushing that back up. Again, we did put a lot in here, a lot. So I just want to keep that nice. Whoa, the wind. Thank God that didn't hit my car. That's how windy it is. The ladder just blew off. Wow, I can't believe that just happened. All right, so what I recommend when you're using 5200, because it sucks to work with, but it's an awesome product, I cut a giant gaping hole, right? And then you're gonna peel the back off, puncture your thing. Said he bought black. First time I've ever actually seen it in black, but kind of cool. What we're gonna do now is just basically lay our bead. And what this bead's gonna do is it's gonna fill in the channel on top of the Gflex, which is now tacked. And it's also gonna be a waterproof, impervious barrier to that little area. I like to use this no matter what in the channel that we've ground out, as you can see, right? So this is how I do it. I grind my channel and I'm laying a thin bead, not going crazy here. Here it comes, here it comes. Bead of the 5200 right here. And then we're gonna smooth it out. And this is a permanent fix. And I'm gonna get some up in here too. All right, so now once you lay your bead, again, there's not much back here. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that to it. And smuts that. And this is it. That's all you're doing. You're just putting your little bead of the 5200, and that will make, if there is any gaps in there, now waterproof. And it also has a little bit of flex to it, so these boats are, no matter what, going to have a smile, right? This is just going to continue to happen. 5200 will help mitigate that crack that's going to show through on the glass or the fairing compound afterwards. Let's do that. Front here, I'll tap the chain. Do not get this stuff on you people. It does not come off. Ever. So, just laying my bead, and you can see, actually, right here is the old sealant that they had in here, which probably is 5200. I don't know what Catalina used back in the day, but that's all we're doing. We're just laying this bead right along the joint. And now push that right there. You can use anything. You can use a putty knife. I prefer using a stick because I'm going to throw the stick away anyhow. And for all you haters of 5200 out there, I have done countless amounts of keels with this. And all of my keels years later, we're going 3 years on mine, have zero cracking. Zero. You don't want it to be too thick though. You want this to just be nice, thin layer. So get that up in there. Especially back here where the fairing is still. Like this, I don't care. You wipe that right there. But right there, I want to keep that nice thin as possible. You just fill it in the channel. That's it. Very nice. Glass is off. I like it. I'll move around to the other side. One thing with this, same as the Gflex, it will run. So you want to stick around after you do it. Remember the hunter we did? He had to stay there for like a few hours and just do it. We had to use a lot actually on his channel. Super deep. So he had to spend a lot more time. I want to do the back first. Oh. Of course, my phone is going nuts right now. So I'm just going to lay a bead right over the Gflex, which is nice and tacky. Now here, we can see we have a deeper spot, so we want to get a little bit more right in there. Mushing it in. Now, I try to keep it below the gap there. That way, it's very difficult to sand this stuff. So I don't want any up top where I'm gonna have my glass and fairing. We want to try to fill some of the holes with it. Like this one right here. Mainly though, we're just trying to push it into that gap. We're gonna get all the excess off into that gap. And these wooden sticks really do a nice job. Pull it downward. And again, push. And like you saw before, make sure you're cleaning this area with acetone. You don't want this just to pull off like a like an old gasket or something. Now, that. Thank God we have Jason here, because I would not be filming all this. We'd have the thing set down over there and I wouldn't be able to make Bob Ross comments to it. Oh, pretty little bead we're playing here. I do want to get a little bit more.
Come around to this side.
What?
Want to come around to this side? So you can see it a little better.
Yeah, here we go. That's in there. Good. You can see it's starting to bulge here though. Push that back in. What are you looking at? I gotta come to the front again. Slowly bend it.
See it?
No.
Right here?
Oh, that's not.
That's
Okay.
good.
Yeah, that's fine. I can put some there just for color, but. So what Jason's saying,
Just for me.
for Jason is OCD. He wants this covered. So we'll do that, even though it's going to be faired. Good. Then we'll
Much better.
We'll do the back now, and this boat is ready for fairing and glass. And again, we're just going over where the factory originally had the glue. And this side actually doesn't have any issues, but we'll still put it in there. This side right here, not a big deal at all for it. But to stay uniform, we'll do it. Alright guys, so we're done here for today. Again, like I said to you in all my previous videos, this isn't a big job. The problem is waiting. So now I have to wait for that 5200 to cure, which is like 7 days. It takes 7 days for that to fully cure. So next week we'll come back and I'm going to basically use the Total Boat Total Fair and sand down this keel to get the lead not oxidized, right? So that's very important, by the way. If you ever get down to lead, you can see how right now it's a grayish color. It should really be shiny. So we gotta go ahead and sand that down quickly. And right after we're done sanding it down, hit it with acetone, and then we're gonna fair the whole keel. And then I'm gonna be laying glass just here, one layer. So basically we're fairing it, glassing it, then fairing again on top of that glass, and then she can go ahead and paint. But for right now, this is now waterproof. We know that when I first looked at this boat, we went over the keel bolts, we did a torque on them, they were holding. That's all I know at this point in time. Has something changed over the last, year or whatever it's been? Possibly, but we know that the keel is not dropping any further and the bolts are to the spec. So now we have a waterproof gap. The gap has never been waterproof. Again, once we fare this, this is going to look like it's never been an issue ever. It's going to go rather quick. And again, that's all it is really just time. It's waiting. So this is going to take 7 days until I can touch it again. When I fare it, that's 24 hours. When I glass it, I like to give 24 hours before I play with that. So it's just a waiting game at this point in time. So yeah, very cool. We'll see you next week, and we'll be back at this one. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please hit me up and we'll take care of you. Cheers. Oh, don't forget to drop the anchor for Jason so he smiles more. It's really important. Cheers.